good, fam? It's Mr. Kelly with Good to the Hood, talking about anything and everything that impacts the culture. And today, what's impacting the culture? Cancel culture. Again. So, of course, I did a video with Kels a couple months ago on cancel culture. So check that video out. But this is where we're at now. Cancel culture is it's in full effect. It's on a whole new level right now. And so let's kind of see. Let's review a little bit some of what's being canceled right now. So the hot thing is Pepe Le Pew, right? One of those Looney Tune characters. He was the skunk, right? And they're saying that he encourages or embodies rape culture. So he's canceled. I just saw something that Miss Piggy is canceled. The Muppet, right? Who else? Who else is canceled right now? I mean, there's always some celebrities getting canceled, but it's taken a whole new thing of. It's not anything new. Like, so let's go there. Social media, and if you're looking on Twitter, Facebook, and all that, there's this whole big hullabaloo on the whole cancel culture thing, right? And it's not anything new. Like, first of all, I did a video on it, like I said, with Kels several months ago, and of course, in order for us to even do that video, it wasn't like we were right on time with it because we were talking about R. Kelly and Papa John's and all this kind of thing. It was well before that. And of course, it probably goes back years, really, in pop culture, right? And of course, let's not look. From the memes and everything I'm seeing, we're blaming, is it the left, is it the right? Now it's politicized. And I see a lot of memes saying that it's it's the Democrats, this, that, and the other. But to be fair, to play devil's advocate, was it not primarily, not solely, but was it not primarily the right or the Republicans that were canceling football when Kaepernick took a knee? Like, let's just not watch football because this guy is over here on the sidelines disrespecting the national anthem, right? Which I've done videos on that as well. I spoke with Army Ranger Nate Boyer, who spoke to Kaepernick and actually requested that he take a knee because that's what the military does for a fallen soldier or one of their brethren, or when they're paying respect at a grave and that kind of thing. And of course, Kaepernick said it was specifically for police brutality, but I'm ranting now. So y'all know that. I got a video on that. I interviewed the guy. It was nice. We addressed it. But I'm just saying that it's on both sides. Of course, we had the whole thing with Aunt Jemima syrup and Uncle Ben's. Lando Lake's butter was another one, right? Even before all of that, if I'm not mistaken, I remember way before that they had quit showing Speedy Gonzalez, the cartoon character, and that happened years ago. They took that out of rotation years ago. What else is cancel culture canceled? I mean, there's so much. I'm just trying to see. I'm trying to keep kind of quasi-relevant, right? But the point is this. All that cancel culture stuff that's going on. And I'm not saying there's not some merit to it. Oh, I know the other one real quick is, of course, the Redskins. Right now, the NFL football team that was called the Washington Redskins is right now just the Washington team, right? So now I'm not saying that some of those, because those are all on different levels, right? And addressing kind of different issues. I'm not saying that maybe some of those aren't important. Some of those were rooted maybe in a time where it was just quote unquote more acceptable, or if not acceptable, at least probably tolerated. That's probably a better word. It was just more tolerated and expected even. But what I am saying is this. What's the point of those particular issues there, right? The real issues still are there. Police brutality is still something that needs to be addressed. Systemic racism in America is something that still needs to be addressed, and addressed in ways that really make a difference, that quantifiably make long change, right? And I've gotten in a couple of discussions with some people on Facebook. Not all of these discussions are with people that agree with me. The topic of reparations came up. Well, I was talking to this one guy, and then his friend chimed in. Y'all know how social media works, right? You're talking to one person, and peanut gallery always comes in, right? And I've talked about that on some other videos, which is fine. That's what social media, hence social, right? But people are mad for a number of reasons. And the best way they feel, or if not the best way, the easiest way, let's say that, the easiest way to address real issues is to go to social media and to just cancel whomever or whatever it is, right? Which, again, if you feel that a company, for whatever reason, if you feel the company's dollars is going towards something that you just absolutely cannot back, sure, then boycott them, right? I think we saw that with Chick-fil-A. Whether you agree with Chick-fil-A's stance, and Chick-fil-A made it very clear how they felt about homosexuality, right? Whether you agree or disagree, okay, that's fine. If you don't want to go and buy the chicken sandwich, don't go buy the chicken sandwich. I get it. So in that instance, as an individual, sure, make that choice and follow through with it. That still falls under cancel culture. I don't have no problem with that. The whole thing, like the current one with the whole Pepe Le Pew, right? I could see, right? I mean, I grew up on these cartoons, so I could be biased. I know that the new generation maybe looks at things a little different, and I'm not saying that they're wrong, right? Because, I mean, to be a progressive society, you have to kind of listen to the newer generation, but the newer generation also has to kind of partake, we'll say, of some of the wisdom of the previous generation. And this that'll never stop the whole disagreement with that and all of that. But with the whole Pepe Le Pew thing, it's a cartoon. And let's be honest, this cartoon, how heavily in rotation is it? Like, is anybody even watching Looney Tunes now? I mean, I guess so. Cartoon Network and maybe Cartoon Network, I guess. I don't know. I mean, my kids are all grown and everything, but my whole deal is bringing up Pepe Le Pew, for instance, isn't solving anything. Nobody cares about this cartoon, right? He had his day. He had his heyday. Like, anybody that liked Pepe Le Pew and would still be watching it, I mean, like, again, you're going to have to go to somewhat, I think, extraordinary lengths to even find any episodes of this cartoon character, right? I mean, what, you got him on VHS, DVD maybe? So who cares, right? Again, I'm not supporting rape culture. I'm empathetic and compassionate to those that have been victimized by it, and I feel that the perpetrators and the guilty of that should absolutely be held accountable, and that needs to be fought out in the judicial system, and they need to serve time and do whatever they need to do, right, to make amends for that. Okay, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that cartoon, who cares? Okay, now I will say that in the instance of the changing of the name of the Washington Redskins, that debate's been going on. I mean, I was a kid when that was going on, so that's been something that's been debated for decades, and I can see how Native Americans could be offended by that, because you wouldn't have a team that's the Washington Blackskins, right? The Washington Yellowskins. So in that instance, I get it. Just change the name. You're not changing the sport. You're just changing the name. You're going to have a new logo or mascot. Let's move forward. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. These are all different, but attacking cartoons that nobody's watching anyway. Uncle Ben's, they could have just replaced that picture. Aunt Jemima, they could have changed her look, right? But again, although I understand why people would be offended at some of these things, these are not changing any of the real issues. The real issue at hand is how people of color, more often than not, blacks and browns in America, aren't giving the same opportunity as other people groups, or as white America. Let's just put it out there. That's just not the case. Now, of course, everybody wants to argue and debate, and this is where these Facebook conversations come in. Say, oh, well, you had the same opportunities as me. We went to the same school in 1990. Okay, you need to pull your head out your butt and see long-term impact, right? Civil rights movement didn't end till 1969, which means those attitudes and those people that were orchestrating that are still alive today. And most of them are your lawmakers and people in Congress and people in the Senate, higher ups in various companies and so on and so forth. So the whole ordeal with that, and I'm not going to get too far in it because I'm going to do a whole other video on that. Whole thing with that is blacks were not given the opportunity to start building a legacy like many of our white counterparts, right? For the sake of argument, and this is what this guy is talking about. Oh, I'm a mechanic. I make $50 an hour. And Reggie, this black guy that works next to me, he also makes $50 an hour. Look broader than your bubble, right? But okay, that's a whole other thing. I actually have some other guests coming in for that. We're going to be talking about that. But nonetheless, cancel culture, look, don't get distracted by what they're doing. Don't get distracted by Miss Piggy and Pepe Le Pew. Oh, here's the other one, Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss books. Here again, don't buy the Dr. Seuss books. And the Dr. Seuss books, I mean, if you're offended by it or what have you, ain't nobody reading these books. Who's reading the Dr. Seuss books? Like, is it that big? I mean, in the past, sure, but you can't change that as far as production and all that. Like, then just quit selling the books and just let it be what it is. Like, these are all distraction tactics, right? Anyway, I know I've gone well over my time on that, but look, cancel culture, don't get distracted. Keep it to the actual issues that actually impact your life in a big way, right? Let's not lose focus, right? Police brutality, systematic racism, these are the things we need to address. But until next time, this is Mr. Kelly with Good to the Hood.